How we doing, Palm family? This is Stew Science 101. Something that we're going to be doing every Friday for our Friday work, and we'll explain it more in the classroom. I will explain it more in the classroom. Our classroom expectations, guys. This equals to real world job expectations. The habits that we expect in the classroom are the same that employers want on the job. Sometimes you ask, when am I ever going to use this? Well, hey, if you want to be an automotive tech, welder, construction worker, electrician, landscaping, heavy equipment operator, boat mechanic, these are a lot of things that you guys need to know on the job. Now, think about this. If you take your truck to a mechanic, would you want the mechanic working on your brakes while texting and not paying attention? Obviously, we're not going to have our phones, but yeah, we want to be able to pay attention. If someone's welding a part of a trailer, boat building, would you want that person ignoring safety procedures?
Nope.
What if you hire a construction company? Would you want workers showing up whenever they feel like it? Probably not. So, guys, be present, be on time. Classroom. Students are expected to be present, prepared, and ready to begin. So, what do you think about the workplace? How would that fit in?
Well, the same classroom requirements that you have, be on time, that is the same thing in the work field. For over the years, I've done a lot of work with employers to figure out what they want our students to have.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what they want them to have is all the skills that this talks about: being prepared, being on time. You just have no clue. If you have a crew, and shipyards are what I use the most because that's big money. I mean, you work at the shipyard, you make $45 an hour to start. Um, your training, you get paid $25 an hour, so that's not bad.
Okay.
But you have to be on time, because if you got a crew of 40 and you're late and your job is the thing that starts everybody else's, they're all waiting too. And that's money. And you understand that when you're in the business world, it's all about the dollar. If you're wasting time, they don't want you. So don't be offended if you get fired because you're late 3 times out of the week. You're going to get fired. That's a part of it. The classroom procedure is just getting you used to always thinking, being on time.
Yeah.
You can't be late. It's a fact of life. So,
well, you also have to come prepared, guys. Classroom. Bring your notebooks, materials, assignments. Every Monday, you're going to have to turn this in. If you don't turn it in, you're late. It's not even late, it's just zero. And then you have to come in next Friday. You got to make sure you have your pencils. Please. I run out of pencils so quickly, and no one has a pencil. You got to have your pencil, especially in the workplace. A mechanic needs the correct tool. Well, I forgot my tools. You don't want to show up at a job site and say, I forgot what I needed.
yeah, and I didn't finish that job yesterday. I just did part of it.
Yeah.
And I got bored with it, so I didn't finish it. Yeah, you're not going to get to finish it tomorrow either, because you're going to be unemployed.
Yeah.
You have to get things done, and they give you reasonable times. Your teacher's giving you reasonable times. Bosses do the same thing, and they don't mind asking for help, providing that you're doing the job. Not, I can't do this. It's like, I need to do this, but I don't know how to do this tool.
Yeah.
And then your boss, your teacher, is going to help you fix that and learn that. So,
guys, we also need to follow directions. Listen carefully. Follow the procedures given. I have on the whiteboard, there's an itinerary of what we're doing. On the other side, underneath homework, things that are coming up. Well, in the workplace, directions become even more important when you're working around vehicles, machinery, electrical systems, construction, boats. Guys, even welding equipment, you got to have
your glasses, got to have your gloves. Can't do without it.
I mean, think about you working on a car, trying to perform a specific inspection before a vehicle is returned to a customer. You just can't say, I don't feel like doing this step. I'm going to skip over it. Don't need to do it.
Oh, it looks good from here.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Duct tape, NASCAR approved, right?
There you go.
Following procedures, man, as part of your professional work as a student and in the future. Ori Georgetown, their automotive tech program and their welding program that some of you might get into, they train students in areas where you need to have those procedures, those steps.
Mhm.
And we are going to go into a little bit more procedures as far as scientific method and CER in the future. You guys are going to love those. Those are really good and something that you can use every day in your life. Now, there's no horseplay in the classroom, guys. No running, pushing, throwing objects, distracting people, misusing equipment. What do you think might happen in the workplace if they're doing that?
Yeah, if they're doing that, you're not going to last long.
No.
And there are places where a boss will set up a time for some of that because he understands the importance of employee, boss relationships.
Yeah.
So you might have a fun day where you go outside and shoot rockets off or something. But generally, they don't want that horseplay. Now, that doesn't mean you can't laugh at something that's funny, but you're doing your job and doing it right. You're not messing around. So, making faces with the pencil up your nose, that's not going to cut it. But you can always laugh at something that's funny, like a joke or something, and still do your work. And that's what's important in an employee situation.
Oh, yeah. Now, you got to stay in your area. I'm going to have assigned seats, yes, and I will change them periodically throughout the year. In a job site, if you don't stay in one job site and you keep bouncing around,
No, your job's not getting done. Your equipment's left open.
Yeah.
And you're slowing somebody else down. The boss is not going to like that. And in a lot of companies, you sign your equipment out. And if you walk away and somebody takes it, it's on you. And they dock you. They don't mess with it. In a lot of big companies, well, and I always talk about the shipyard because it's classic, but a lot of the factories do that. They give you your equipment, you sign it out, but you have to stay on top of it. You just can't, walk around and do what you want because it's your equipment. So,
oh, let's talk about equipment then. You got to respect the equipment and the materials. Guys, there's a lot of stuff in this classroom, a lot of stuff in this school at Palm, welding equipment. I'm going to have glass everywhere. Guys, you got to make sure that you respect the equipment. It costs money. Breaking something that you were careless on a job can cost tens of thousands of dollars, guys.
Yeah.
So let me put it this way, guys. If you owned a company, and some of you are trying to maybe even start your own company, and somebody kept breaking your equipment because they were just playing around, would you keep paying that person? No. Now you got to make sure that you keep your hands, feet, objects to yourself. You got to respect everyone's personal space, especially in the workplace. This is professional employees. Don't just push, grab, throw things.
Yeah, somebody else's desk is their desk, and unless you have that permission. But it's like that with a workbench. Go to any auto shop, and in a real auto shop, you have a workbench. That's their workbench.
Yeah.
That's not somebody else's.
No.
Now, you can borrow equipment if you're friends and you're respectful, because I've borrowed equipment where you put it back as clean as you got it or cleaner.
Yep.
That's the rule. You can borrow, but you got to ask. And so equipment is important and taking care of it and maintaining that. Yeah.
Also, in all of the classrooms, and especially in the science classroom, there's no food or drinks. Okay. You don't know what's going to be present. Everything in there. So you got to make sure. And even in the workplaces, they have designated areas for you to eat and drink. Okay.
They don't cross because you don't know. And I have to tell my students in my lab, a drop of acid looks the same as a drop of water on the table, and you can't tell. So you always clean up. You're always making sure everything's neat, put away. And so that just goes with responsibility. You just got to be careful with stuff.
Now, you were talking about your students. Where do you teach at?
I teach at Coastal Carolina. I taught 38 years high school and adjunct professor in college up in Virginia. Came down here, retired. I've been teaching. It's part-time, but I'm teaching 15 credits. That's full-time professor. So,
Woo.
but I don't have to do some things like, uh, do research or anything like that.
Okay.
So I'm just teaching but yeah, I have to keep and we have problems with them. And I have to kick them out of the lab if they're not dressed right.
Huh.
And college students love to wear flip-flops on a nice, hot, sunny day, and they come in the lab, and I got to kick them out. And some of them have to walk a mile back to the dorm, get their shoes to come back.
Oh,
We're moving on. We're not waiting.
not waiting.
So it's important to follow instructions, do what you're supposed to do, dress the way you're supposed to dress, whatever the instructions are. So,
And we do have that at Palm. We can't wear flip flops.
yeah.
We can't wear hey dudes or hey bros. Again, classrooms can get, especially after lunch, a little tiring. And you got to stay awake and be engaged. Guys, if you are sleepy, take accountability for yourself. Stand up.
Mhm. You just have to stand up and move your legs. A lot of offices offer the desk now that you sit at, push a button, and it stands up. You work for an hour standing up, and you sit back down.
Yep.
It's important. And a good teacher like Mr. Kelly,
Mr. Stewart.
Mr. Stewart, sorry, I'm sorry, Mr. Stewart, will allow you to stand by your desk. That doesn't mean you get to walk around the room. Stand by your desk, shake a little. Don't be obnoxious. Just you're letting the blood get to and then sit back down. You'll feel better. And that's a way to keep yourself awake if you have trouble, especially after lunch.
Yeah.
The more sugar and caffeine you have at lunch, the more you're going to crash.
Oh, yeah.
About a half hour to 45 minutes, you're going to crash, and then it wears off and you're back.
You got to get that oxygen and glucose to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. And as we go, there will be times when I have you guys stand up. We'll move around a little bit. I get it. But also in the workplace, you can't be sleeping on the job. You don't get paid for just being at work. You got to contribute. Now, again, I want you to ask questions. Something that I really want you guys to, do when you're in that classroom. Not during instruction. Wait till after instruction. I can show you. I'll walk around. I'll help you. Not in the middle of instruction, because that's slowing everything down.
In fact, sometimes what you were going to ask questions about actually gets dealt with in the very next statement. It's like, just listen to the instructions, and then if you have a question like in the middle, just wait till the end, and then you can ask it, because it might get answered and you didn't know it.
Yeah.
And so, and your teacher's trying to show you a precise direction, and if you interrupt them, then you get off track, and that creates a problem for everybody. So let him finish. And then if there's a question, and don't be afraid to ask, because I'll guarantee you there's two other people with the same question.
Yep.
And one of them's embarrassed and the other one ask. Ask it, and he's going to come up with the answer that helps you figure out how to put that in with the rest, everything else.
And if you have that problem where you might forget the question, write it down while we're going over it. Go, ooh, I got to ask this one later.
And in the workplace, your boss wants you to ask a question when you're stuck, not when you're supposed to be doing something. But then you realize, hey, there's something I have an issue with. I'm going to go talk to my boss, and he'll get me the training or whatever. That's a responsible employee, and that's going to be a benefit, not a negative.
Yep.
100%. Never try to fake it. If you got a question, ask it, and then your boss is going to give you the direction that you need. It might be a simple instruction, very simple. If you've started welding and learning how to weld, there's a simple instruction. Every time you put a layer on, you got to bang that slag off, or it's not going to be good weld on the next one. It's simple things, but so let them finish and then ask your question.
Yep. And also, guys, hey, I'll be tutoring Wednesday after school, and you can come by any Friday. Guys, I'm here to help. Okay. So you also need to participate. When we do those labs, I need you to participate. If you just sit there and copy off someone else, you're not getting the work that you need to get done. Okay. You're not understanding the material. Think of some of the real world jobs out there that takes two people or multiple people to work on. If one person just doesn't do their job, other people got to pick up that slack. Would you like to be that person picking up someone else's slack? No, it's not fun. You get paid the same, but he's just not doing his job.
Like being in a foxhole in a battle.
Yeah, yeah,
A person on your left and a person on your right better be doing exactly the same thing you're doing,
yeah, yeah,
because then all three of you are going to suffer.
yeah,
So you got to do your fair share, and it's like that within the business world.
yeah. Now, a lot of these things that we've been talking about, the jobs around here, that's around Conway. That's South Carolina. They have automotive at different places all around. Welding, industrial work, construction, landscaping. Guys, think about that.
And marine mechanic
Oh yeah.
is the big new thing. All those boats need a mechanic, and there's not mechanics on every beach
Nope.
fixing boats. So there's a real need for it, which is why Horry County offers it now. And I think you can take the first couple classes for free.
What?
Yeah. So they need to, get through here and then get there, So this is what you got to do. You got to start, they're looking for people that can follow instructions.
Oh yeah.
You follow instructions, you'll be way better off. You're on time, you'll be way better off.
So think about what we went over. Classroom expectations, workplace skills, being present on time, dependability, prepared, professionalism, following instructions, safety and quality, participate, productivity, stay in your area, job awareness, respect equipment, responsibility, no horseplay, workplace safety. And trust me, you're going to see those workplace safety training classes.
Yeah. Every job has them. I had to do it at the college.
Yep.
I mean, I have to take 6 different training classes before I could even teach in the class.
Wow.
So, and that's every job is like that.
Yep.
Because there's certain things about each job that have to be very specific. And so you got to be, all that comes under responsibility, being on time, taking care of it's all responsibility.
Stay awake. Situational awareness, guys. Got to be aware of your surroundings. Ask questions. Communication. Very big on communication. A lot of the jobs out there, they want you to communicate with them. Make up any missed work. Accountability. Complete the assignment. Guys, you got to finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
Use class time appropriately. That's classroom management, 100%. And respect others. That's teamwork. Now, here's what I want you to understand. You may not become a scientist, guys. You may not become a teacher later working at Paul. You might be a welder, construction worker.
I mean, there's a ton of jobs, but all these basic skills you're going to use over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
You think, why am I going to use this? You're going to use it because you learned how to take care of your job. You learned how to talk and communicate with people. You might be learning a new thing, but doing it in the classroom with one thing allows you to apply that skill to another thing. So you may not use a specific, you may never have to dissect a cell and take out a ribosome in your life. Okay. But the procedure that you followed is the same learning steps you'll do somewhere else.
Yep. Ribosomes, protein.
Yep.
Guys, this is why our classroom expectations matter. We're not just practicing how to be better students.
It's better everything.
We're practicing how to become better people that other people can depend on. Now, there's going to be 3 questions that you're going to have to answer. You're going to write out those questions and write them on a separate sheet of paper, and you're going to have to 1 to 2 sentence reply. Question number 1, if you own an automotive, construction, landscaping, welding, or boating company, what qualities would you want in an employee? Question 2, which classroom expectations do you think would be most important on a real job site and why? And then question 3, what could happen to an entire crew when one employee doesn't follow directions or act responsibly? Guys, I will have these written down, so don't worry about it. We can, again, you're going to write them out. You're going to turn these in first thing Monday. If you don't, I'll see you next Friday. And again, this is Science Stew 101, or Stew Science 101.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll get it. Glad that you could be a part of this.
Have a good one.
All right.